Hey guys, it's Jo and welcome back to Trauma Talk. Please ignore my dogs crunching toys in the background. They're busy being adorable, you know, like they do. I hope you are sitting down, which you probably are because you're watching a video, because this is going to be an interesting video, I think. I hope I do it justice. So buckle your seatbelts and let's get started. Also, just a quick heads up, I think this is probably going to be a little bit more intense than the videos I usually do, so sort of a trigger warning, just wanted to let you know. Something I have been trying to address lately in counseling is my inability to be alone and quiet. I cannot deal with meditation because it involves really being in tune with myself and quiet, and that makes me panic. I can't be alone and not have a distraction like an audiobook or something going on because I get so incredibly anxious so quickly. And so this past week, my counselor was like, well, let's actually dive into that. Like, what are you scared of? Why isn't your mind a safe place? And I had some, routine answers, but as I really started to dig in, I realized really what it is. And this will probably sound weird, and I hope I do it justice in trying to describe it, but when the worst of everything happened, specifically October 30th, 2011, which was the day I was raped, but not for the first time, but it was a day that things were the worst, and I realized what was going on. I felt like I was murdered. Obviously I wasn't, but that's emotionally what it felt like, and ever since then, I have always felt, to some extent, when things are quiet, like part of me is bleeding out, like there's an open wound and it will not heal. And I think more than that, I have felt like that girl who died, that girl who was before, she's not quite dead. Like she's a part of me still, but she's covered in open wounds and bruises. And the scary part is she doesn't care. She doesn't care that she's bleeding out. She doesn't care that she's dying. She doesn't care that she was basically murdered. She's very hopeless. She's given up on life. She couldn't handle what happened. And it's not the kind of hopeless that's dark and despair. It's a hopeless that almost feels like a weight being lifted off because nothing matters and the world isn't safe, so why would you stay here? That's what she says to me. And so when things are quiet, I think I get really scared that girl, and yes, I do realize I'm talking about myself, but for the sake of explaining what goes on in my mind, I'm gonna explain it like it goes on in my mind, but that girl who's dying starts whispering to me what she feels is truth. And I'm afraid I'll listen. I'm afraid that I will see the appeal in hopelessness and see the appeal in giving up on any variety of levels. So there is a part of me that has always been so focused on healing, on getting better, on finding tools, on attempting to find a healthy way of existing in this post-traumatic world in my head and in my life. And then there's another side of me that honestly wonders if anything can ever really be better. That wonders if the bleeding will ever stop when I get quiet. And I was doing a lot of thinking about this today in combination with the conversation I had with my counselor. And something she brought up, which made a lot of sense to me, was essentially that girl is the 19-year-old me when everything happened. And she said if you saw a 19-year-old girl on the side of the road who was covered in, gashed open wounds and knife wounds and bruises and was bleeding out and dying, and you ran up to her to help, and she said, don't worry about it. It's fine. I don't want to be here anyways. It's never going to get better. Don't even bother calling for help. Would you listen to her, or would you call 911 and do everything you could to help her while help arrived? And obviously the answer is you would help her. You wouldn't listen to the person who is so severely injured because they're not thinking straight, because they are so not okay that they need help. And I think that is how I need to start treating this person in my mind. And I think that there is a lot of benefit to integration in accepting that person, accepting that that person is me, accepting that that is just another facet of trauma, another facet of how I think of what happened, and that it's okay to wonder about those things. It's okay to wonder if it's ever really going to feel better. It's okay to feel that hopelessness is really appealing sometimes. It's okay to speak that stuff out. But all of that darkness and hopelessness, and what ultimately comes down to despair and giving up and bleeding out and feeling like nothing will ever help those wounds, that is a girl on the side of the road who cannot think straight. And the version of me that believes in life, that knows that it does get better because it has, that knows that it can continue to get better, that loves life and sees beauty in it and is so grateful to be here, I can help that girl. I can help that girl on the side of the road. I can listen to her. I can understand where she's coming from. I can have compassion, but I can also get help for her. And that's what I'm doing in being in counseling. That's what I'm doing in trying to listen to myself and trying to engage in finding good coping mechanisms, in finding good people to, be around and listen to and just heal the best that I can and continue to. But I don't have to be scared of that part of me, of that piece of my mind that feels like hopelessness is the answer, that feels like I'm bleeding out and it's never going to be okay. And I'm honestly not sure how much of this made sense. I'm honestly not sure if I'm even going to post this video right now, but I wanted to share that because I wonder if other people don't maybe feel the same way in some fashion. And my goal with this channel has always been to be honest about the fact that you're not alone, you're not weird, you're not alone, and you're not weird, and B, that there is life after trauma. And if you're thinking similar thoughts, it's okay. It's okay that I'm thinking those thoughts. And it's okay to find help too, and you're not alone and I'm not alone. And I do believe it gets better. Sometimes I have a really hard time believing that. It's my puppy barking. But I know it's true. Regardless of what I feel, I know that it does get better. And so that is the truth I am going to rationally operate off of. And it's okay to acknowledge the emotional side of me that sometimes feels like it never ever will. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I honestly hope some of that made sense. Let me know if you've ever felt like this or experienced anything similar. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. This is Trauma Talk on this channel. Like I said, I just talk about life after trauma and life in the aftermath, and the fact that a lot of people experience traumatic things and it's hard to talk about, and you're not alone. So if this interests you at all, please hit subscribe to my channel or like on my Facebook page so I can see you in the next video. I look forward to seeing you then. Please take care of yourselves until then. Thank you guys.